Hello everybody and welcome to Game 2 of Enemy Intelligence versus IMBA Battlenet. IMBA Battlenet actually haven't set their name for this game, but that's absolutely fine. I'm just Delicious, and with me I have Vague Raconteur.
Hello, and again, as JT said, welcome to the second game. Last game, we saw such an incredibly close fight for almost 25 minutes, but this Magnus pick by Enemy Intelligence did actually manage to win it for Enemy Intelligence, but winning two very, very big team fights, and this Puha as Gyrocopter being able to get so much farm that they just managed to out-carry Faceless Void.
Yeah, and IMBA Battlenet giving up the Magnus first pick probably didn't help their chances. I mean, he's just such a ridiculously powerful hero right now. If they picked him up, maybe it could have went the other way, but they decided for the Darkseer instead. But we'll have to see how they handle this one, because now they have second pick. They're giving away first pick to Enemy Intelligence, so their bans have really got to be pretty good. And with Nyx Assassin, Batrider, and Magnus all in the pool, Enemy Intelligence, if they play this right, can easily secure themselves at least one of them.
Oh, definitely, and already we're seeing the very, very standard bans that you expect to see. IMBA Battlenet, I wouldn't be surprised if they ban Magnus this game with their last ban, especially considering Enemy Intelligence do have the next pick, but and there you go, the Magnus ban. But imagine Enemy Intelligence will pick up probably the strongest offlane on mid that they can now, but just how insane was that, to be able to have a Magnus actually pick up Undying, who is almost never been picked up in this tournament just because of the consistent banning, and we know how powerful he is.
Yeah, Enemy Intelligence deciding to ban out Darkseer instead. They really like that Undying, so they thought if we ban out the Darkseer, then we guarantee ourselves an Undying, because there's no way IMBA Battlenet are going to let Batrider or Magnus through the pool this time. So now we go over to IMBA Battlenet, and IMBA Battlenet have got a few choices actually. They do still have that Bounty Hunter that hasn't seen a lot of play, but he's just so ridiculously strong in that offlane. He's still one of the strongest offlane heroes. So we'll have to see what they actually decide to do, but the Undying is a really, really nice first pick for Enemy Intelligence. It's exactly where they wanted to go, and it looks like IMBA Battlenet are going to be going for Ezreal, another one of the main support heroes at the moment. Obviously, just with that ridiculous Illuminate and Chakra Magic spam is just so annoying, and I can imagine Shadow Demon might be paired up with him.
Oh, definitely, and there you go, there is
Yep.
the Shadow Demon. We've seen this combo win so many games in this tournament. You can't avoid it. Just Soul Catcher along with Illuminate means that IMBA Battlenet are probably going to be going for a very, very aggressive tri-lane, and I would not blame them. Someone like Phantom Lancer to go with them just means a ridiculous amount of damage all around.
Well, Enemy Intelligence are going to counter that with a Lifestealer pick, and that's a nice pick. And Templar Assassin for their mid. So they're locking out the best mid in the game, probably, that's left in the pool with Templar Assassin, who we haven't actually seen much of recently, but when we did see her, she absolutely dominated the game. She was so ridiculously strong, and now IMBA Battlenet have really got to think of how they can counter that Templar Assassin in mid, because they really do need to. They can't let a Templar Assassin get any sort of farm, or she's just going to completely dominate the game.
Well, we've seen IMBA Battlenet go for some crazy picks against this, and again, these crazy picks they win with sometimes occasionally, so it'll be really, really interesting to see. I'm hoping they're going to go for something crazy, a bit like Pudge, but we don't know. We're probably most likely going to see a Queen of Pain.
Yeah, or maybe even a Venomancer. That'll be a little bit fruity, putting Venomancer up in mid against Templar Assassin. That'll be a crazy pick, but one that I've seen before, and it's worked out quite well for several pro teams. So maybe IMBA Battlenet want to go for that route. But Ezreal and Shadow Demon really is probably the best lane combo that you can actually have at the moment. They're going to pick up Phantom Lancer, so they're getting their carry already. And Phantom Lancer is so strong against Templar Assassin with his illusions in the late game that if he can get any sort of farm, he should be able to absolutely dominate.
Oh, definitely, and as I said, Phantom Lancer, along with Keeper of the Light and Shadow Demon, it's a very, very aggressive lane, not focusing on disabling, but just focusing on pure damage, and it does it so well.
Yeah, Soul Catcher plus the Q from Phantom Lancer and Chakra Magic can keep it up. It just does so much damage that if Enemy Intelligence really do go for any of the standard support heroes like a Chikira or a Leshrac, they're going to get harassed down so heavily that I don't think they're going to be able to impact the tri-lane almost at all. So Enemy Intelligence banning out that Queen of Pain, as you said, is okay against Templar Assassin in mid, probably the best mid hero left against Templar Assassin, so they're just covering their tracks by banning her out. And the Tinker ban, just because of that March spam, is so annoying, and the ability to jump around any part of the map. They really don't want IMBA Battlenet having that, plus the amount of push that Phantom Lancer can bring.
Oh, definitely, and now very big ban. Obviously, there's some big spells here to potentially steal, but Rubik could possibly mean that IMBA are going for a very big kind of spell hero, and we've already seen them pick up a Faceless Void, who obviously you'd never want a Rubik to be able to pick, but who do you reckon, JD, that they may go for next? I mean, they've got to pick their offlane and they've got to pick their mid. They're probably going to pick someone like, I imagine, not an Invoker if they're going to ban out a Rubik, because Invoker versus Rubik isn't that valuable. They've banned out Lena for that huge ultimate, but who do you reckon enemy intelligences are going to go for next, and who do you reckon IMBA are?
Well, I'm not really sure at the moment, because enemy intelligence, they could be just looking for that Jakiro. He is obviously a very strong support here, and if they can give him a little bit of HP and keep him alive against the Shadow Demon and Phantom Lance, sort of really strong, aggressive, burst damage tri-lane, then the Jakiro could work out very well. Obviously, Ice Path is exceptionally strong. But the Lena ban is a good ban, because they really don't want to give enemy intelligence that really strong tri-lane that Lena brings, because obviously she has got a lot of burst damage herself, so that kind of makes a lot of sense. We'll have to see which way enemy intelligence want to go for this, because they're going to pick up Bounty Hunter, so they're going to get their offlane hero as fast as possible, and the best offlane hero in the game right now is definitely Bounty Hunter.
Well, they've already got such a strong team. They've got they've got the best offlane. They've got one of the best mid lanes left, especially in that pool. And they've got Undying, which so well with his Gravestone goes with Lifestealer, and they're probably going to try and set up that up with a try because Gravestones everywhere plus a Lifestealer is always a big tricky thing. So I imagine they're going to get enough Sable just to clarify all of that and really let Lifestealer just hit away at these guys.
Yeah, it's more than likely. We're now IMBA Battlenet are probably going to pick up their favoured Windrunner for that offlane against Bounty Hunter, because you've seen RR really play Windrunner exceptionally well in almost every game that they play Windrunner, and even against Bounty Hunter, RR really does make the lane work somehow, and yeah, he's such an exceptional Windrunner player that you really can't see them picking anything else for their offlane.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. They've actually gone for Gyrocopter. I imagine
well,
that Phantom Lance will be taking the... maybe Gyrocopter will be on the offlane.
Well, I'm thinking maybe Gyrocopter will be in mid. I think he's a little too susceptible to ganks to be on the offlane, but if he goes up in mid against Templar Assassin, maybe he can keep her down with a rocket barrage or two. I'm not entirely sure, but they definitely have an idea with the Gyrocopter. He is quite good against Templar Assassin. I mean, his split shot really is good for last hitting and also harassing the Templar Assassin at the same time, and it kind of works like the Psyblades do, so you can see Gyrocopter being picked up for that reason. I can almost certainly see this Gyrocopter maybe going mid, or if they do decide to run him as a carry, Phantom Lancer can always go on the offlane because he is quite survivable with Juxtapose.
Lion.
Indeed. It looks like enemy intelligence are going to go for Lion again. Potentially a lot of high damage, a good replacement for Lena, and with a big old stunner and a Hex as well. He's so disabled. We're going to see a very strong, probably going to see a try. Enemy intelligence are definitely going to want to set that up, and it's going to be heavy disable versus heavy damage. So now all that's really left to see is probably going to be the offlane, considering we reckon Gyro will be mid, and it does sound like a very good idea. That's Flat Cannon being able to just completely have the Templar Assassin at the same time as getting creep score, which is what Gyrocopter could want. They've only got 5 seconds to go. They've got a little bit of reserve time, only 34 seconds. They're probably going to pick as fast as possible. What are they going to pick for their offlane? Provided that Gyro isn't going mid.
I don't know, it's a pretty interesting one actually, because there's not really many heroes that they can pick up now for that offlane. I mean, Phantom Lancer obviously could offlane against a Bounty Hunter. That's not the end of the world. It's not particularly good, but it's not... I don't know. They really should pick up maybe a Windrunner now. They really are thinking about this. We are going to see their pick very, very shortly. So the last pick of the second game is Clockwork. So they go for Clockwork to counter the Templar Assassin and the Lifestealer. He is so good against Lifestealer. It's untrue. Being able to put up those cogs for about 3 seconds and keep Lifestealer completely locked down inside. And as soon as he gets a Blade Mail, it's gonna really turn the tides maybe in a team fight. And RR is so good on Clockwork. We're going to see some amazing hook shots from Clockwork in this game. I can feel it. I'm going to be running over the Radiant, then we're going to switch over to Vague, who will be handling the Dire. So MNT will be taking up the Phantom Lancer, which shows me that he's definitely going to be the offlane hero. And Joker, their mid, will be taking up Gyrocopter. Infamous will be on the Keeper of the Light. We're going to see Venduva on the Shadow Demon, and RR will be taking up his Clockwork.
Meanwhile, on the die, we have Puha on the Lifestealer. We have Moon on the Bounty Hunter on the offlane, as always. We have Fitten on Undying, and whoa, he's changed his name to something ridiculous, but we're going to call him Ian on Lion, as well as INF on Templar Assassin in mid.
Yep, can't forget about that Templar Assassin. And Templar Assassin Yep, definitely going for that early bottle build. So she wants to get that bottle as soon as possible and keep harassing this Gyrocopter. But Gyrocopter's also gone for it. So obviously Gyrocopter wants to be spamming spells, maybe homing missile and rocket barrage to try and keep down this this Templar assassin. So it's going to be interesting to see which way the mid goes. I've never actually seen a Gyrocopter versus a Templar assassin in mid, and I'm not entirely sure which one it favours.
Well, this is what we were talking about with IMBA Battlenet choosing some very strange picks. They don't always go with the meta, and it does often go in their favour. In fact, nobody has Storm Announcer if they really pause for this, but it's fair enough, you know, preferences. But yeah, IMBA Battlenet's Gyrocopter as Joker versus Templar Assassin, it should prove very interesting to see. Is Flat Cannon enough to keep... is Flat Cannon versus Sideblades is the ultimate question. What's going to win?
I'm going to make a call now, and I'm actually going to say that Joker's going to have the best time in this lane. That is my call. I'm going to say the Flat Cannon maybe just a little bit too much for Templar Assassin to handle. It really does depend on whether she can get that early bottle, because she really does need it within a minute or two, or she starts to fall behind in farm, and Gyrocopter can, as we said, snowball out of control. So we can imagine quite a lot of ganks are going to be played onto this Templar Assassin as well, INF. And if they might even be hanging around Keeper of the Light on that, just hanging around the mid lane, spamming that Illuminate just to try and do a little bit more damage to her.
I can see what you're saying, but I'm going to reckon that actually INF might have the advantage here, especially if enemy intelligence pull off a lot of ganks in Gyrocopter, as Gyrocopter is a kind of hero that can't really escape much. He's only got a homing missile as a form of a stun, and it takes an awful long time to come out. So it's just going to be relying on base speed, while Templar Assassin has this ability to put down a psionic trap and actually trap him out, as well as we know how good IMBA and enemy intelligence are at landing these side blades. We know they're going to land, and it's just a case of harass versus harass, and then Templar Assassin pulling down a psionic trap with anyone going in. Potentially Gyrocopter could have a bad time, but it just, exactly as we said, it depends on who's going to go probably for the most aggressive ganks. Yeah,
and we can see a little bit of a, I think, Templar Assassin versus MNT on the old, or maybe it was a Gyrocopter versus MNT. But either way, they were playing a little bit of a noughts and crosses on the map, so that's that's nice to see.
30 seconds to battle.
Well, they're two very happy teams. They like to play professionally, but they like to have fun, and it's a really great thing to see, because they just have a great amount of sportsmanship, and that is what you like to see. Especially, we've seen lots of reports recently on different esports, League of Legends for example, losing a lot of professional players because of toxic attitudes towards the community. And guys, teams like these prove you really do get a great community in some of the better teams.
Yeah, I mean, these two teams are very, very good, and they're also very, very nice people. So it's really nice to see them both get into the final, and it's been a pleasure to cast them so far, and hopefully this game won't be any different.
Regeneration.
Absolutely, as we said, Clockwork is going to go on the off, and I'm really excited to see Clockwork versus Bounty Hunter. I imagine it probably will go in Clockwork's favour with the ability to cog someone in.
Yeah, I mean, Clockwork versus Bounty Hunter in the offlane is a bit of a weird one, but the fact that Clockwork can keep spamming that rocket flare even when Bounty Hunter's invisible may just give him a little bit of an edge. We'll have to see what actually happens, but we can see the Sideblades versus Flat Cannon battle pretty much already taking a little bit of a already coming into fruition, and Sideblades is winning at the moment, but I don't think he's actually activated his Flat Cannon yet, so it's going to be interesting to keep an eye on mid. I'm going to flick at the last hits and denies so I don't actually miss that, but yeah, this mid battle is probably going to be the most interesting one of the game. I mean, it's up to Gyrocopter probably just to keep Templar under control. Doesn't even necessarily need to win the lane. It's just that Templar cannot get farmed.
The hidden ones.
Exactly, and he is using an intelligence lead. Whenever Templar Assassin is going up, he's trying to make sure that he gets the creeps back on his top of the lane. So Templar Assassin has to use Refraction to be able to farm, and the second she does, he puts on Flat Cannon and he hits the creeps, which actually hits her as well and takes that Refraction off. It's a very clever play there by IMBA Battlenet.
Yeah, Joker really does know what he's doing in mid against this Templar Assassin. He's obviously practiced this matchup before, and he's really burning that, away that refraction pretty fast. So that's really interesting to see, actually, that the Gyrocopter and the Templar Assassin battle is going so evenly, because you'd expect one of them either way to have a big impact. But looking at bottom, it looks like Ian Teller actually just diving. MNT's been caught out pretty horribly. They are actually going to be catching out VTUN, so MNT Infamous actually gets first blood on Vitan. Now they're looking for Lion. They're going to get him as well, so MNT gets 2 kills. And now Pooh has to cap back off. And this tri-lane really working out well for IMBA Battlenet. And exactly what we said, the amount of burst damage they can bring. And this Chakra Magic's just keeping MNT, keeping down MNT's mana up is really proving very, very effective.
Well, a burst damage team are definitely going to have the advantage in the earlier levels, but the second that they get more damage on the disables, especially with a Lion and an Undying, with leveling up their gravestone, it could potentially be a lot worse in favour of enemy intelligence. IMBA Battlenet are going to have a great time early on, but I'm very interested to see when they start to get around level 6, what's going to happen.
Yeah, I think what they're going to probably look to do. You see this Phantom Lancer. He's already level 4, so he's 2 levels ahead of even Lifestealer and 3 levels ahead of the other 2 on this offlane. So IMBA Battlenet are playing this offlane exceedingly well. They've got a massive, massive level and farm advantage. And look at RR on this offlane again. It's such a good offlane player, keeping this bounty hunter completely locked down, farming away and harassing and just doing everything that he needs to do to win this offlane against bounty hunter.
Meanwhile, just going back to the mid-battle, because it is so fascinating, we actually have Templar Assassin taking very much a farm lead, but actually Templar Assassin has a double damage ring bottle, so she could potentially pop that, but probably going to wait until she gets her ultimate. But Gyrocopter is kind of winning in her rest level. She's actually going to pop it now. She's popped a Refraction and it looks like she's going to try and just harass him back down, or just use it for straight farm, because Joker is such a nightmare for this girl. But INF probably going to be nicely done there with Meld. Meld gives the actual advantage against the homing missile. It does come down to Flak Cannon versus Side Blades and Refraction. And at the moment, she's got the bottle. She's filling it up with ring control, so you don't know. Joker's staying at low health, but he's got by no means got the advantage. Actually, INF might be able to grab it, but no, they're landing. It's just constant harassment, and it's really interesting to see. Amazing that Joker's actually managing to survive this.
I would say that Templar Assassin has taken a massive lead in farm, though, sitting at 20 and 12 versus the 7 and 3 of Gyrocopter. So Gyrocopter's not having a particularly nice time, but he's managing to at least not die and hold his own against the Templar Assassin, which is kind of all they need. And Clockwork is just doing so exceptionally well against Bounty Hunter. I don't think Bounty Hunter has actually managed to hit Clockwork at all on this offlane, and Clockwork's almost level 6. As soon as he gets level 6, he could probably just go for a kill on Bounty Hunter. Bounty Hunter's not on a lot of HP. He's going to probably just pop this. No, he's not going to pop the flare quite yet. Moon's just gone to try and buy something from the shops and boots, it seems, and he will be backing off.
Well, exactly as you said, he just keeps it. He's got his ultimate now. He did go for the one more rocket flare. He probably is going to wait now for the perfect hook shot, but Moon has been completely shut down by this Clockwork. They did not expect it. It is a slightly unusual pick, and it is proving so effective, as we've seen IMBA Battlenet do.
Yeah, it's just working exceptionally well. We weren't really prepared for how much of an upset this offlane was going to be, but Moon is just getting absolutely nothing against Clockwork. But Moon is now level 6, so he's managing to get the levels, and that's all he kind of needs. But Arcane Boots already up on RR, and I actually managed to miss a kill, actually coming out from Infamous again, killing Lion on the bottom. So Ian Taylor still having a horrible time at bottom, and Puya not on a lot of HP, only on 100 after that. Spirit Lance from the Phantom Lancer, and he's really taking a massive lead in this game.
Well, it's actually going so much more in this game is so much more in IMBA Battlenet's favour so far in the early stage. As again, it is only the early stage. There are 4 kills in the lead, and while enemy intelligence are now actually going to catch out Vendusa, it looks like open wounds has been applied on him, and Dying's going to probably be able to catch up to him, and he does. Just Vendusa managing to get the last hit there, but the first kill by enemy intelligence to counter it, which is nice to see, but it was 1 for 1. It wasn't the perfect trade.
Yeah, the Phantom Lancer actually managed to kill the Lifestealer, so that's probably a lot more important than the fact that they managed to get a kill on a Shadow Demon that doesn't really mean anything, especially seeing that Puya wasn't there for the kill, so he wouldn't have got any XP or farm. He's only sitting on level 3, while Phantom Lancer is now level 6, so it's just going so much in their favour. And look how much the Clockwork has beaten Moon. Moon's actually decided he just can't do it down there anymore, and he's going to come down here and try and get a gank. Are they going to jump MNT? That's probably the best option if you can get a track off on him, because that Juxtapose won't do anything. The pings are coming out. Moon just trying to scout out where everyone else is, and MNT, it looks like, is definitely going to get caught out here. Here comes the slow, the track, and MNT is not escaping this. They do finally get the gank on him that they needed, and nice play by Moon to come down and get that.
Absolutely, and this is the advantage of having so many disables. The second are very bursty laners on their own, especially without Shadow Demon's disruption to help. They have the potential of just completely catching someone out, and with someone like Bounty Hunter who just can invis and then come straight down, especially with that Janada just being able to do that extra bit of damage and ensuring toss. What can IMBA Battlenet do versus that? They just have to keep close together. They have to keep MNT with his supports until he can actually just trick everyone with doppel walks or two.
Yeah, you can see RR now buying up a point booster, so RR's just making himself as tanky and survivable as possible against this bounty hunter. He's going to really start dominating this lane. There's not really much bounty hunter can do about it. So RR really playing exceptionally well, and in the mid to late game, RR is really going to be the one that has to catch the Lifestealer out and try and catch out this Templar Assassin or the Bounty Hunter, because neither of them are long-ranged heroes, and one Cogs can really shut 2 or 3 heroes down in a team fight, and that's absolutely huge.
Oh, definitely, but still, IMBA Battlenet down at bottom
Oh.
have this huge advantage.
Oh, did you see that from the Keeper of the Light? Did you see that from Infamous? They knew that Undying was waiting around the rune. They saved it for Templar. He was saving it for Templar Assassin. Infamous walked into the creep cam and denied from the high ground, denied the rune so that they couldn't pick it up because he knew that they weren't going to get there. That's just really nice play and just really quick thinking by them again.
Oh, we've seen some brilliant stuff from them actually. Was it Infamous last game that actually did that smoke of deceit to avoid the homing missile and saving his own life?
Yeah.
I think it was.
It was, yeah. It was really nice play. He's just always such a quick thinker. He knows exactly what he's doing. They're just going to de-ward bottom lane. So now they know MNT has a little bit more breathing space than he did before. But we can see Puya's just rotating, not really doing anything. He's gone into the jungle, but look at his farm. He's got boots, and that's it.
Well, he actually went for a gank against Gyrocopter, but it went horribly wrong. I don't know if it was a kind of miscommunication. He used open wounds on Joker, and Templar Assassin just stayed there. It went so badly, he just had to instantly go back to the jungle and try and catch his life back up with
Puya
creeps,
is going to
looks
die.
like he's actually being killed by a neutral. Oh no! What is going on?
That is definitely not what the Lifestealer wanted to do at this stage. I mean, Lifestealer needs to start getting a lot of farm quickly, or he's just going to absolutely do nothing. And that really didn't work out well for him. He got killed by the Ursa warriors.
Well, they are a very strong creep wave. He's now gone back to exact his vengeance, and will be getting it now. But he's got to be careful. The Ursa warrior does have a stun, and he just caught him.
Yeah, he just wasn't expecting that damage that Ursa Warrior was going to pull out, and it actually managed to kill him. So a little bit of sloppy play, but we can expect 1 or 2 pieces of that at some point. They're only human after all. But this Phantom Lancer is really starting to get quite a nice bit of farm now, sitting at 39 and 14. So he's doing okay. He's catching up with the Templar Assassin. He's miles ahead of the Lifestealer, and he's going to be building up his Diffusal Blade as soon as possible. Already picking up his Robe of the Magi. RR just patrolling around the forest. They know where they are because they have the ward up. Is RR going to try the hook shot? There it is, and it's a really nice shot. The disruption gets popped, and now the Cogs, and they're going to be killing quite easily this Lion. Lion is not going to get away from this. The last hit from Clockwork gets the kill, and those hook shots are just going to be so important in this game. You can really feel it.
Oh, definitely. He's such a good shot as well, RR. You can't. Almost never ever misses any kind of target skill like that, and just how brilliantly it's already going off, being able to pick them off one by one. Enemy intelligence not showing this kind of unity they had last game, which won them the game, because they are still so far apart. Meanwhile, and RR is using this to his advantage. So as all of IMBA Battlenet, the 2 supports from the tri lane now coming up to help RR and just taking this top tower, it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like they're just going to try and push this tower as much as they can. There's the flare, and you can imagine the Illuminate's going to be coming over the top to clear this wave. And yeah, it's pretty interesting to see what they're actually doing at the moment. Oh, the teleport's coming in. RR's going to cog it directly on top. So now V-Turn's got nowhere to go. V-Turn will probably die to the rocket flare. There it is, a killing spree for RR. Cuts himself out. Has to run though because INF coming around the back, and Moon trying to kill this, trying to kill Infamous. He's probably going to get him. The Junada, no, he manages to get away, but the Templar Assassin does pick up the Clockwork. But this Clockwork is really showing himself to be a particularly strong offlane hero at the moment, and RR is just playing so fantastically.
Well, he's a very good counter, and not one that is generally suspected, but this is how IMBA have their strength. They go for something that no people are really used to, that they really don't expect, and then just highlight what other teams really should be picking as a way to put other people off, because they are finding new teams for the meta here.
Yeah, they really are, and there you can see MNT is really having a nice time against Puha in lane. He can just keep spamming his Spirit Lance, and Puha just has to keep backing off. He's actually got a drum before his Diffusal Blade, so he really wants that extra move speed and survivability that it gives you. It gives you +9 to all attributes, so it's not a bad damage item either. So he's decided to go for that first. That's probably just to counter the track that the Bounty Hunter gives and the slow that the open wounds can give. Disruption gets popped on Puya. He's going to have to run though, because a few of them are actually teleporting in, but they know that that's an illusion and they know they're not going to get him, so they just back off. We actually should go back to mid, because INF versus Gyrocopter, we haven't actually talked about it for a while. Gyrocopter sitting about 20 last hits behind and 15 denies behind, so really having a horrible time against Templar Assassin now. Has actually got phase boots, so it's doing a little bit better, but he hasn't really been involved in any ganks yet, so when he starts ganking, we'll start to see the power of that Gyrocopter come out a little bit more. Oh, but he actually gets killed by the Templar Assassin's Psyblades. He got taken out by the side. He wasn't expecting the Psyblades to hit him so often, and they caught him 2 or 3 times, and Templar Assassin actually gets the kill, and that's going to help her a lot, because she really did need that. She hadn't actually picked up a kill yet. She only had an assist. Going to bottom, V-Sun gets caught out. Now the Templar Assassin teleports down, but this could be a little bit of a mistake. They're actually going to catch Infamous, and MNT's just backing off, so they actually just let Infamous die. They know they can't do anything against INF, and the Tombstone was still there, so they just didn't want to try it.
Well, that was a beautiful turnaround from enemy intelligence after the game just started so one-sided in terms of IMBA Battlenet. But Templar Assassin, we know she's so powerful. She looks like she's building up for a BKB, just saving up for a Mythril Hammer now. Pricking the Ogre Hub first for extra survivability. But Gyrocopter, he needs to be very careful versus INF. INF does have the advantage, as I was saying, the Psyblades are very strong. And INF landing them almost constantly. Look at that, using the denies as well to make sure that it gets Gyrocopter down to half health after just 2 Psyblades.
Yeah, Templar Assassin is really doing a tremendous amount of damage to him. She got a slight level advantage, and she's really been able to capitalise on that. And but we actually see a massive push come out bottom from IMBA. MNT diving the tower a little bit, and look at the amount of damage they did to V-Turn, and look at RR just teleporting, just hook-shotting straight into the middle, and they take him out. And again, RR with that hook shot, it's just so accurate every single time, through creeps pretty much, to get the undying, and then setting up the cogs perfectly. Really nice play again from that Clockwork. Is really giving IMBA Battlenet the edge at the beginning.
Well, you have to be confident to be able to hook like that 3 creeps to get to somebody. And my god, he just doesn't ever miss. He's almost got level 2, so the next level ultimate will give him even more range of potential for even more risky hook shots. Meanwhile, Minja's just come but to try and defend whatever it can, because they have to stop this push. And Phantom Lancer is now at the kind of level where he's got his Tranquil Boots, he's got his drums, he's actually almost completely got a Diffusal Blade. He's becoming a real force to be reckoned with.
As soon as he gets his Diffusal Blade, you really can't see anybody from Intel being able to stop him very easily, because his illusions are going to be doing a tremendous amount of damage to them, because none of them are particularly farmed, apart from the Templar Assassin. But Templar Assassin, as we know, does not have a very nice time against Phantom Lancer when it comes to the late game, so he only needs another, let's say, 1,000 gold, and sorry was said immediately, because I think... Yeah, okay, the game has actually properly continued, so... Yeah, they were just making sure that everything was okay, and it seems like it is. Shadow Demon now picking up his arcane boots, so he now has he can now give everyone that extra dosage of mana as well as the Clockwork. So they're never going to have any mana worries with the chakra and the amount of arcane boots they're building. So Yeah, you really have to feel that IMBA Battlenet have got the advantage at this early stage, and RR hanging around looking for the hook shot again. Is he going to be able to pull it off? No, it looks like he's just going to be taking this tower and then backing away because he doesn't quite want to dive. But Vesuva goes the wrong way and gets caught out by Puya. He will die. Disruption on himself gives him a little bit more time, but that time is not going to mean anything because the rest of the team are not going to risk diving into 5 of them to try and get a kill or 2.
Indeed, enemy intelligence, I didn't expect how powerful that train would be, and it really